Okay, committee reports, legislative update, Mrs. Shorter?
No, I do not have an update, at least a formalized update. I have just some general information, and that's just that things are fluid at the state level. There's been lots of information coming out from our State Board of Education as it pertains to equity and CRT. So I'm trying to follow those discussions. I've had some conversations with a couple of state board members, one straight out of District 4. I think it's good to have discussions, when there are some differences of opinion. But I just want to assure the public that we are following those types of conversations about equity, and they are taking place at the state board, and they're taking place in the state legislature right now. And I think they are important. They could be impactful as it pertains to even our district. So, I try to keep up with those. And when I need to reach out to state board members over issues that they're moving forward with, I will do so, and I did so just last month. I'll send you guys a copy of the email. It's interesting. But, but I'm keeping up with those things, not just with the state legislature, but also with our State Board of Education. They are critical partners. That's all that I have.
Great, thank you, Mrs. Shorter. Okay, Butler Tech update. The Butler Tech CEO and CFO met with some county commissioners recently about a couple of projects in Butler County. They're looking to, the Butler County commissioners received some grants and some money from the federal government as it relates to COVID. And they can distribute that money how they see fit. And Butler Tech has requested some funds to build a couple buildings, to one in Hamilton to train individuals for manufacturing jobs, and one at the Middletown Airport to train people for aviation jobs. And so that's kind of in the works. It's up to the county commissioners how they want to distribute that money. But Butler Tech has applied for some of that money, and you can read about it in the Journal News. There's a nice article about that. And school starts this week for Butler Tech, so kind of exciting. And that's all I have for now.
Yeah, Mr. Birding, can I put you on the spot and ask you to tell me, as school starts, I think it's worth mentioning the number of applications for Butler Tech and the number of accepted students?
That's a great question. I think the applications that were received, and it was in January that this happened, I want to say it was close to 2,000 applications, and there was about 800 openings.
Wow.
So now with the new budget that was put through, it has released some of the constraints on career tech education, and so we're hoping to open up more opportunities for students. And those may be thinking a little bit out of the box, so where maybe that funding doesn't have to go to accept more students, it doesn't have to go to building more labs, but maybe we look into having students instead of in a lab from noon to, or 11 to 2, we can maybe have them in from 4 to 7 in the evening. So now we're not talking about building new labs for like welding and cosmetology. We're just talking about hiring another instructor to come in and teach that in the evening. The building is there, it's not being used, and might as well, maybe we could take some of that funding and hire teachers and then just be flexible with when students can come in. Because some of them work during the day anyway, at least seniors, they're working in their actual job, doing internships and job work their senior year anyway. So it gives a little bit more flexibility with the new budget that came out. So we're looking to do that to expand the program. So maybe instead of turning 1,200 students away, we're narrowing that down a little bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. We're just talking about it right now. Obviously it's not going to happen in this school year, but maybe going forward. So great question.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Butler Tech? Wait, Planning Commission, Mr. Bagley?
No, we have not met since our last board meeting.
Okay. And Mrs. Gundram's not here for student achievement, although I will tell you that several of the Fairfield students were at the Butler County Fair with their animals, and they did a great job, so. Parks and Recreation, Mr. Clark.
Yes. First of all, the Hardman Park Trail is completed, so if you want to run, walk, bike, walk on your hands around the park, you can do that. A complete circle, so that's finished. That's exciting. Speaking of Duke Energy, they actually gave a grant to the park for $5,000, and it is to start a habitat for pollinators. So there's going to be an area set aside for bees and monarch butterflies, a nice little place to see some wonderful insects, and then it'll be a good conservation environmental area as well. So that's pretty exciting. That's coming up very soon.
Great.
I do have one quick question about that. Do you know how long the trail is? I tried to find that online. I couldn't find
I
it.
don't know exactly. I was thinking it was like 2.3.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll find out for next meeting. How's it?
All right. Yeah, I'm giving you some research to do.
Any
I'll write that
comments or
down.
questions? Actually, my wife Susan and I checked out the new dog park. We don't have a dog.
Yeah.
We're not looking to get a dog, so
Kind
grandkids
of
out
test
there.
the
we're not-
waters, pun intended.
But we were in the area and we wanted to check it out, and it was great seeing that there's a nice little water place for the
Thank you.
dogs to go swimming and
Yeah.
play around, and that was pretty neat. They did a great job down there.
Yeah, they did. We've taken our dog down there a few times, and they got a running area where you can put them in that gate, and they just run freely.
Right.
And they can jump back in the water.
That's
And
awesome.
all the dogs seem to get along pretty well, too.
Any talk of getting a cat park put in? Because we have
No,
no?
but I can research that as well. I don't know
You
if
don't
cats
need
would
to.
get along as well as dogs.
Yeah, I don't
for some
think
reason.
cats would get
have
along
that
outside.
Attitude thing going on.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Mr. Clark.
Thank you.